Boys, today we're going on with algebraic fractions, but we're doing multiplying and dividing. So with the adding and subtracting we did last lesson, you have to find a common denominator, but that doesn't have to happen with multiplying and dividing. So with multiplying algebraic fractions, it's pretty easy. You just multiply the tops, multiply the bottoms. Then you use your calculator fraction key to do the numbers. Okay, so the calculator is for the numbers. With the letters, you're going to be cancelling down. That just means that we're crossing out the smaller power of the letter. And make sure you cross out the same number of letters on the top and the bottom so it balances the fraction. In the dividing, when you get to dividing by an algebraic fraction, whatever you're dividing by, you multiply by the upside down of that. It's called the reciprocal. It just means you turn that second fraction upside down. So we're going to go through some examples of different ones, multiplying and dividing, and then get to some harder ones in the next video. So in this first one, we're multiplying, so we're going to multiply our tops and multiply our bottoms. So we've got W times 1 is W, and 3 times 2 is 6. So that one's pretty easy. Sorry, just checking something. So that one's pretty easy. There's nothing more for you to do. You don't need to put anything in the calculator. Everything's done. If we look at the next one, we're multiplying times your tops times your bottoms. 4 times 3 is 12. M times N is just NN. And that's your answer. So looking at the next one, number 3, we times the tops times the bottoms. 2 times 3 is 6. X times x is x squared. And that one's finished. Now looking at the next one, it's getting a little bit harder now. We're still timesing our tops and timesing our bottoms. So on the top we have 4AD times D. So that means we'll have a 4A. D times D is D squared. And on the bottom, we have 9 times 16. So just get your calculator and multiply that out. I'll just get mine out. 9 times 16 on your calculator equals 144. And don't forget to write the A down. Alright, now this is one where you do need to simplify it. So you're going to put just these numbers at the front in the fraction key of your calculator. So you're going to type in 4 over 144 equals, and it gives you 1 over 36. So write that down, 1 over 36. Extend the bar because we're going to have to put some letters here now. Now, we look at the A's. Now, this has got an A and this has got an A. So we just cross out both of those. They're both gone. That leaves us with a D squared on the top. There's no D's on the bottom to be crossing out. So we're going to leave that D squared and leave it where it actually is, which is on the top of the fraction. Now, I've forgotten to leave a little bit of room here to put this next step, but the next step is we don't put the 1 there. We leave any 1 out. So I'll just move this question down a bit. So we're going to write this answer down as D squared over 36. Alright, the next question is a division. So here we are dividing by a fraction. So I said to you before, we're just going to copy that first fraction down. Where we divide by a fraction, we're going to times by its reciprocal, which means we turn this fraction upside down. Do not touch the first fraction. Okay, that just stays there. It's when you're dividing by a fraction that you times by the upside down. Alright, now we're going to just multiply like we normally do. Multiply your tops and multiply your bottoms. And we end up with 5R, because R times 5 is 5R. 2 times R on the bottom is 2R. Alright, now you can put the 5/2 in your calculator fraction key if you like, but I'm going to tell you that that just ends up equaling the same thing, but you can try it. And with the r's, we can cross them both out. So our final answer here is 5/2, with no r's left. Okay, in number 6, again, we are dividing by a fraction. So in the next line, we're going to leave the first thing, leave it alone, and then instead of dividing by 3/4, we're going to times by, upside down, 4/3. Now, we're going to multiply our tops and multiply our bottoms. Q times 4 is 4Q. 4 times 3 is 12. And then we're going to go to our calculator. So you're going to put 4/12 in your calculator. Again, I haven't left enough room, I'll just move this down. When you put 4/12 in your calculator, it gives you 1/3. Then we're going to copy the Q down. And like I said before, if there's a 1 there, we just leave it out. So we end up with Q/3. Okay, number 7. Again, we're dividing by a fraction. Keep your first fraction. Times by the reciprocal of the second fraction. Turn it upside down. And now we're multiplying. Times your tops, times your bottoms. 3 times E is 3E. E times 5 is 5E. If you go to your calculator and put in 3/5, it gives you 3/5. And the E and the E, we can cross them both out, cancel them out, cancel them down, and we end up with just no E's left. 3/5 is your answer. Okay, in number 8, again you're dividing by a fraction. Keep the first fraction. Times by the upside down of the second fraction. Now we're timesing our tops and timesing our bottoms. So h times h is h squared, and k times k is k squared. That cannot be simplified any further because they're different letters. So you can't cross things out because h squared and k squared are different letters. You cannot be touching them. All right, in number 9, again, we're dividing by a fraction. Keep the first fraction. Times by the upside down of the second fraction. Now that we've turned it into a multiplication, we're going to times our tops and times our bottoms. T times 5u is 5tu over 3 times 3 is 9, and there's a t there. Okay, if you put your calculator fraction key with 5/9, it will not change, so we keep the 5/9. Just extend the bar in case we have anything to put in it. You'll notice here I extended the bar, but there was nothing to put in it, but it doesn't matter. We can cancel out these t's, and we still have a u left, and that u is on the top, so leave it on the top. Okay, so those questions weren't too hard. We're going to come back in the next video and just do some that are a little bit trickier.